Yo, what is up, guys? It is Jordan and Frank with the Curated Heat podcast back again. How are y'all doing? We're going to jump right into it, man. This episode is going to be very spicy. There's some spicy things in here. We're going to start with our little weekend update. We realized that we picked a Thursday night game in our last parlay we gave out to you guys. So by the time you saw the podcast, obviously that game was done.
Yeah. Hopefully, going forward, we'll just give you guys Sunday picks. Last week we had the Rams, didn't really realize that they were a Thursday night game, but they were the one team that we did pick that ended up losing. It was actually a really crazy game, one of the best games I've seen all year so far. Shootout between the Rams and the Seahawks, ended up going into overtime. The Rams scored a touchdown, a 50-yard Puka touchdown with the first possession in overtime, and then the Seahawks went down the field, did the same exact thing, went for two, got it, and won by 1 point. So in the future too, guys, just gonna throw it out there, if you guys are a little weary on the lines or the teams that we might pick, you could always adjust it and do a safer line and maybe take a plus point spread for that team that is the underdog, and that might be a little bit safer for you. But we did go for 2 for 3 on the other ones. So
well technically on the on the underdog picks that we chose, we went 2 for 2, so we hit 100%. And right. I know you as well as I, after that Rams bet fucking crashed and burned, we put back in.
Yeah.
I put in for the Pats and the Bears as well, which we did pick. Both of those teams ended up winning. And then shout out my father-in-law, Big Mike. He had our upset of the week that he picked, Jacksonville versus Denver.
Jags are hot right now. I mean, they're 11-4, I think, and they've strung together 3 or 4 wins in a row. That team looks really good. They actually look like a contender this year.
Trevor Lawrence is coming alive a little bit.
I am a notorious Trevor Lawrence hater. Ever since he was the first overall pick from Clemson, I thought he had all the potential in the world to be a great quarterback, but he just really hasn't showed it so far in his career. And I always was like, when is the Jags going to move on from this guy? But they've stuck with him, and he's looked good this year. I got to give it to him. He's changed my opinion a bit on him after seeing him this year.
He's Sunshine from, Remember the Titans?
Yeah, I remember the Titans, Sunshine.
Yeah, he's been, dude, Jacoby Meyer going there.
That was a good addition.
Dude, yeah.
Everyone kind of gave up on Etienne last year. He's been my fantasy GOAT. He's top 10 running back in fantasy this year and having an outstanding season. And their defense looks really good too. But we didn't have that as one of our picks, but the Bears did end up taking down Green Bay after Jordan Love got hurt late in the game. That game also went to overtime. There was a fumble, right? Dude, Green Bay got possession first.
Malik Willis. Oh my God.
He actually looked really good.
He came out slinging, dude. I was like, are you serious right now? Because we were obviously had money invested. But so now that Papa Bear is 2 for 2 on his crazy upsets of the week, we might have to add a segment of Papa Bear's picks and give you guys what my father-in-law, the magician, thinks is going to be the upset of the week.
He is notoriously good at picking teams that you wouldn't expect to win, and then they do end up winning. He has a pretty good track record with that.
And he never bets on that team, which is crazy because he's like fucking Matthew McConaughey in that movie, 2 for the Money. He's like, I'll pick him, but I don't gamble, blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, fuck out of here.
And then finally, last night's game, Patriots versus Baltimore. That one was probably the one I was the most worried about, going into the week before the game started. Baltimore, trying to fight for a playoff chance. I think those chances are now over with a loss. But Drake May, man, he's a dog. Yeah. He's been consistently good this year. He actually dropped 37 points for me in fantasy this week. And
all I know is, do you remember the phone call so I got a phone call from you last night.
Yeah.
I answer the call and all I hear is straight up Riddler style
laughing.
Psychotic laughter and just pouring from the fucking other side of the phone, dude.
So, 2 for 3 on the picks, and we'll kind of get into fantasy now because that's kind of what he's leading into. The reason I called him late last night is I was I'm in 2 semifinal games. I'm looking good to go to the championship in 2 of my leagues, so that's awesome. I don't know that I've ever had that happen, honestly. I had Drake May go on last night. I had a sub in Stephon Diggs for Woody Marks because he didn't end up playing. And then I had Travion Henderson going as well. That was very disappointing to see him go out early. I didn't like my chances at that point with him going out. He had only scored like 1.5 points at that point, something like that. But I got to say, man, Derrick Henry, Drake May, Stephon Diggs really came through for me last night. All within the span of 5 minutes, within 2 drives, Drake May got his 300-yard bonus, a passing touchdown. Derrick Henry got his second rushing touchdown of the game. Stephon Diggs surpassed 100 yards receiving, got a receiving bonus from him. I mean, I think I scored like 30 points in the matter of 5 minutes and really solidified my chances to go to the championship game this week. So
everything good happened for you. Nothing good happened for me.
Yeah, unfortunately, we talked about it a bit last week with Jordan selling out last year to have a good run this year at the championship in our keeper league. Unfortunately, even with 240 bombs from Stafford and Puka from that crazy Seattle Rams game, the rest of the guys just didn't show up this week.
DK Metcalf didn't show up for work. Trey McBride didn't perform like he usually does.
Yeah, he had a very low-scoring game, actually.
Breece Hall killed me. Who was my other running back? Rico Dowdle against the Bucs, and that's another thing let's touch on really quickly because I'm a super heavy Bucs fan, and oh my God,
aren't we all?
Do the Bucs have to absolutely win out for I believe even
I think we also need Carolina to lose at least. Well, we play them for the final game of the season, but I think it would be even more beneficial for us if they ended up dropping both of their last 2 games. But I don't know what those matchups look like. I know we play them the final week. I don't know who they play next week though.
Yeah.
But I know that we have a pretty tough matchup this week.
It's hard to tell really. Like, okay, so for all you bettors out there, I'm obviously rocking with the Bucs this week. They are playing the Dolphins.
That's right, the Dolphins.
Got Quinn Ewers didn't look that great.
I think they can win that game. I think the Bucs. I think they have to win that game.
Achane is a monster, bro. We have to figure out how to stop that run. I mean, Jalen Waddle's really good, but again, I don't know if he has the chemistry with Quinn Ewers yet. I don't think that the pass game will be too much of an issue. I think the run game, the little checkdowns to Achane, are what the Bucs are going to have to figure out going into Sunday, because that's going to be a tough one.
What do you think the Bucs like biggest weakness is right now? Do you think it's more on offensive side or more on the defensive side of the ball?
Well, first of all, shout out to all of our friends over at the Bucs. We love all of you. We're just calling it how we see it. Obviously.
I'm sure they're frustrated.
Yeah, no,
I'm sure they're frustrated with how the season's gone, especially after starting 6-2.
Yeah, and dude, to be fair, for all of the players, shout out like Chris Godwin, shout out Vita Vea, Antoine Winfield, shout out all those guys, all the guys that we know and have came in the store, and Tristan Wirf, shout out all them. I don't really think, personally, it is too much of a player issue. I think some of the play calling is just so ridiculous. Like,
I agree.
First of all, let Baker air it out. There was a time during the game where Egbuka was on the sideline because there's too many good wide receivers on the field. How do we have that many good wide receivers and you're running the ball 70% of the time?
Well, I think the offensive line hasn't looked great this year. I think the secondary has been shaky at times. They've also been dealing with a lot of injuries. But again, I think the Bucs are missing Liam Cohen's play calling as the offensive coordinator the last couple of years.
That you think it's play calling?
I think that has a lot to do with it, yeah. And like I said, we did have Liam Cohen the last few years. He obviously is now the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And look at all the success that they're having. Look at Trevor Lawrence's season. Look at how they've been able to score. I think they're one of the highest scoring teams the last 5 weeks, maybe the highest scoring. Yeah. I mean, Trevor Lawrence had like 64 fantasy points. Two weeks ago. He had like a 64-point fantasy game, 6 total touchdowns or something like that. So, yeah, just insane to see. And I do think that that's affected the Bucs. I think that the play calling is a bit lackluster on offense, and I think that they might need to look into bringing someone else new in. I don't know if that's just on the offensive coordinator side or if it's head coaching as a whole. I think that Todd Bowles is a really good defensive scheme guy.
I wouldn't mind them moving
going back to defensive coordinator.
A new head coach. Again, we mean no disrespect because the Bucs are our home team.
This is just our opinion.
We do events with them. We have a lot of friends on that team from the shop and everything. So we obviously mean no disrespect. This is just, we love the game. We don't just bet. We actually love the game of football. So we we analyze what we see. It's like, when you're watching film, I'm sure they were watching things and seeing similar,
Right.
similar things. And I'm sure there's frustration. I know there's frustration.
Oh, absolutely.
And, yeah, I mean, you got to put a little bit on Baker too. He threw, whether you're wide receiver and you don't have that, connection or whatever the thing is, you cannot have the ball in under 2 minutes on your side or on their side of the field and throw a pick to ice the game.
That's tough on the last drive. Yeah, it's different if it happens early on in the game. You just adjust and move on. But when it's the game tying or game winning drive, that's always tough, obviously.
But then again, it's hard too because we're viewers. When you're the quarterback, sometimes these quarterbacks, dude, I probably watched this 2 or 3 times this weekend alone. These quarterbacks are releasing the ball before the players are even getting to the spot they need to be to get that perfect in-stride catch, basket. So if, the quarterback thinks someone's going to be where they're going to be, that's also putting trust in their guys.
Right.
So, a lot of the hate will come back on the quarterback, but again, it's just a miscue. It's kind of like a team thing at that point. Obviously, not everyone.
No, absolutely. That's what's called like an anticipation throw. You're throwing into the break on the route, sometimes before the break even happens on the route, and that's actually a sign of like a more experienced veteran quarterback, someone that can do that and put the ball where it needs to be. But sometimes there's miscommunication, or it's just the heat of the game and there's mistakes that are made.
In my opinion, though, that was 100% play calling. It's like, listen, the Bucs were running the ball about 70% of that game.
Right.
Gaining yards, doing great. They had 3 backs in there. Bucky was going crazy. Rashad White was going crazy.
Ran Sean Tucker on the goal line a few times.
For touchdowns, So why on the opponent's side of the field with under 2 minutes left are you not giving the ball to your backs instead of – I get it, you're trying to get a touchdown. You want to, whatever, but it's like –
you're saying give the ball to the backs, or
let the backs run the ball. You've been doing it the whole game, but instead you throw a crazy
I don't
potential
know.
pick.
See, I think it's the opposite almost. Like what I'm disappointed with is the 3, first and goal from the 5 or 6 yard line and 3 straight runs for minimal gains or no gains. Like, I just think you got to get a little more creative sometimes. Like maybe call a play action on first or second down, try to get the defense on their heels, or and get man one-on-one coverage with someone. I mean, I know I watched him throw the classic fade route to Evans twice this past game.
He's trying to feed him.
Connected.
I think he might be gone. I think he might be retiring, dude. Shout out Mike Evans, one of the best to ever do it. Tampa Bay legend for sure. He
helped me out. I ended up starting him in fantasy this week after he's dealt with injury most of the year, and he put up a 14-point performance for me. So not horrible, not horrible at all.
It's pretty cool because we have football on Christmas. We get to enjoy some football on Christmas, and you know what else comes out on Christmas?
Oh yeah, well the day before actually, night before, right?
Wait, is it? I thought it was on Christmas at 8:00. Stranger Things Part 2.
Hopefully I thought it was
I think it's Christmas
midnight
Day,
on Christmas Eve.
Let's do the Joe Rogan thing. Hold on, Cam. Can you look up when Stranger Things comes out? We're Joe Roganing right now, guys. We're Joe Roganing. Hold on.
Give us an exact time and date.
This is some real. Now you know we're podcasters when we have a little producer to feed us information.
5 p.m. on Christmas Day. Okay.
Wait. Is it 5 p.m. Eastern Standard? 8
p.m.
So if you're from our side of the world,
East Coast,
8:00 p.m. on Christmas Day.
So the 25th.
So it's a present for everybody who's been a Stranger Things fan. I enjoy Stranger Things. I know that there's people that either love it or there's people that either think it's corny or whatever. I was intrigued. I really like of course we like it because it's like, it has those vintage vibes, but
I think it's a great show. I mean, I like the aesthetic of the show. It's been long running, but I think the Duffer Brothers have done a great job. I'm definitely super excited for part 2. From what I've been reading, I read a lot into like fan theories, lore, stuff on Reddit. I get crazy sometimes. Yeah. But I think that this part 2 is going to be really cool. The Duffer Brothers have come out and said some things about it that are going to answer a lot of like unanswered questions within the show.
Yeah, they said that everything you're going to know about any questions you have about the Upside Down, the fucking storylines, whatever, they said it's all going to intertwine in this next installment. And then I'm guessing the very last one, which is available to go see in theaters, is going to be like the resolution,
right?
The final ending.
See, that's the stuff I love. I love the mystery. I love the whole lore, backstory behind shows. I think that's why I love Severance so much too. Honestly, was just like, what the heck is going on? You know, like
if you haven't given Severance a try, listen, watch it for 3 episodes. I'm telling you, it's one of those shows. It's a little bit slower, but it's a genius show. The acting is genius. I love it.
Shout out Ben Stiller.
And speaking of that too, we actually had another really good show that got put back on for a second season, which is Fallout. I just watched the first episode when it dropped. Was it Tuesday?
I think it was Wednesday
Or Tuesday, and I have mixed thoughts about the first episode of the new season. It's not that I think it's bad or anything. I get it. They're slow rolling all this stuff, but they're doing too much of the super slow roll, like New Vegas, like everything. Because I played that game. I'm sure you played that game, right?
Right.
And it's like, I get it. You're trying to like make sure you're fitting all these things in there, and it's like, dude, we need action. We need action. Packed vault hacking, fucking vault raiding, crazy shit. You know,
I think it was a good episode. I don't think it was one of the better ones so far, but
it was a good welcome back.
Little slow moving for the first episode, but I mean, the show overall has been great.
I'm a huge fan.
I think the character development has been great in the show. One of the Nolan brothers is involved in the show, right?
Jonathan Nolan.
The writer, right?
Yep. So Jonathan Nolan, brother of Christopher Nolan, would actually help Christopher Nolan write a lot of films, and he actually didn't help him with, I believe, Odyssey, which he has coming out this next year.
Which I'm super excited for.
He didn't help him with Oppenheimer because this was all during the time where he got not his big break, because obviously he's done some amazing, but he got to kind of do his own thing with Fallout. So it's the first time that he did not.
I really don't think you could have picked anyone better
collab.
to write the show or create the story and bring it to life. Honestly,
it's one of the best, in my opinion, interpretations of a video game that has come out. I thought Halo was pretty good. I think Fallout is better. I really like the live action. There's not a super crazy amount of like CGI. There has to be because of the nature of like the genre.
I agree.
You know, but it's not over the top where you're just like, dude, what the fuck is this?
No, I think you're right. Like, I think Hollywood has a history of like not doing so well with bringing video game adaptations to like
the motherfuckers leaning on the CGI.
Live action, big screen. So it can be tough. I mean, it's a tall task sometimes to do that. But I think Fallout has been the best that I've seen so far as like truly bringing like the story to life.
Yes.
Like the character,
development, all the story. Yeah, because here's where a huge failure, in my opinion, came in was I really enjoyed Borderlands, the game.
Yeah, sure.
The movie, I couldn't watch more than two fucking scenes. It was just so over the top. Like,
I think it's because me and you are kind of more like rated R type guys when it comes to that type of stuff.
Well, bro, if you're gonna have a fucking rated R game, you know what I'm saying? That's like, okay, make Red Dead Redemption or fucking PG-13. That shit's gonna suck.
Yeah. I think Borderlands, where they fell short was they tried to reach more of like a younger audience, which is never a bad thing when it comes to money.
Yeah, but the younger audience, I don't even think really fucking played that game like that.
Right.
You know?
But yeah, I don't know. But I'm super excited to see the rest of this season of Fallout. If you guys haven't seen it yet, I would highly recommend just starting that from season 1. There's only been 1 episode out so far for the second season, and it comes out weekly, so you can definitely get caught up on that very quickly. And I'm sure most of you have seen or heard of Stranger Things at this point.
Yeah, definitely.
But if you haven't, I would highly recommend starting that from season 1 as well. That might take you a bit longer, but you could watch that all the way through, and I think you'd thoroughly enjoy it.
If only could I make a deal with God, and I'd get him to hit our bets. I need some cash. Give me some cash. I need some cash.
Speaking of bets, should we get into this week's picks?
Boom. Yep, let's hit them with this week's picks, sponsored by Curated Heat. Make sure to go to curatedheat.com for all your vintage, hype, streetwear needs. Make sure to use code XSET for 20% off. That's code XSET, XSET, at checkout.
All right, guys. This week is going to be a little bit more chill, honestly. We're going to do another 3-pick money line for you.
Yes, sir.
Again, parlay them if you want, but I would recommend taking these bets straight up, individual, maybe throwing like $20 on each one. I think that your odds are going to be better. Obviously, the more you add to a ticket or a parlay that has multiple legs, it's going to increase your odds, but the odds of you actually winning are going to go down.
Yeah.
So
we're here to just give you our thoughts, who we think, obviously in no specific order. We're not telling you go take all 6 of these teams or whatever. If you like it, you do it, run it, message us, send us screenshots of your wins, whatever. Don't put the house on it. We do not want you to lose your house and come fucking
certainly not
come to Curated.
These are just teams that we thought had good matchups this week. They're two of these teams are on really nice hot streaks right now. They're playing very well within their divisions.
Well, let me get this one out of the way first. We're definitely betting on the fucking Tampa Bay Bucks because they have to win, man.
Must-win game, playoff implications.
To win. Please, God, please.
We have them against the Dolphins this week on Sunday.
Please.
Bucks, they're playing in Miami.
Please.
The money line for this game is minus 250 currently. Obviously, odds can change as they do as the money starts rolling in. But yeah, I do like the Bucks to win this week. It's a must-win game for them. Dolphins have not looked great this year, and they are rolling with their rookie quarterback after benching Tua. So I like their chances to win. I certainly hope they win. If they don't, that's going to be really sad. But yeah, that's going to be the first team that we have. And then we have another favorite, kind of heavily favorited on this one. We're going to take the Jags again this week against the Colts. Of course, the Colts started the season incredibly hot. They were one of the favorites to win the Super Bowl, actually, at one point with Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones back there as quarterback. But he has been hurt, and they do have a 40-plus-year-old Phillip Rivers at quarterback.
44 years old, 13 kids, and he's out there slinging. He must owe some child support.
And with the Jags, just being one of the top teams in the league right now, and the Colts kind of dwindling towards the end of the season, we are going to add them at minus 325. So they are heavily favored to win, but I think that is a guarantee, honestly.
What I will say is if you're going to parlay something, I would be careful with the Jags because they are coming off 2 or 3 really hot games. Dude, when you're sitting at the poker table or you're sitting at the blackjack table, runs go cold, tables go cold. Just make sure, with us, the picks that we give you, it'd be cooler, in my opinion, if you just take 3 of them. You don't have to parlay. Throw $5 on, 3, and if you could hit 2 out of 3, you're in the fucking green. Do it again next week. Let's keep it rolling.
They are playing in Indiana. I believe it's a divisional game, but I do like their chances to win. And then again, we're going to take the Bears again this week. Chicago Bears, they're playing in San Francisco against the 49ers. Now, 49ers are a good team, don't get me wrong, especially with Brock Purdy coming back from injury. They've looked a lot better as of late. But I'm going to ride the Bears hot streak. I mean, they've looked awesome this year.
Caleb Williams looks on point.
Most of their games have been really close. They've had a lot of comeback wins this year.
Shout out Kyle Monungai. He is absolutely crazy for being the backup.
For a rookie backup, yeah, he's been fantastic.
Yep.
But the Bears have been able to run the ball well. They're one of the top rushing teams in the league. Caleb has started to kind of show what he can do recently.
Dropping dimes.
And I'm hoping that the Bears can get Rome Odunze back this week, which would definitely help the passing game tremendously.
A lot, yep.
And yeah, so you're going to get them at plus money. Currently, they are plus 125. Of course, this can change. So the sooner you get those bets in, the better, honestly. Odds-wise, I usually find that to be the case. So those are going to be our 3 picks this week. Again, I would highly recommend just taking these bets straight up. Maybe
parlay a couple, find your favorite 2, put them together, throw $5. You don't have to throw a bunch of money. This isn't about getting rich quick. This is about having fun.
Slow grind.
Watching football, gaining some bankroll. And if we can gain some bankroll all together, then we'll start getting crazy. So.
Plus, guys, regular season is coming to an end soon, and I don't know about you, but I am not the biggest fan of betting on playoff football. I historically don't have the best luck betting on playoff football, and teams certainly get more competitive in the playoffs and usually tend to play tighter defense. Yeah. Maybe we'll be taking some unders in the playoffs. I don't know. We'll have to see what these point totals look like for some of these teams, and maybe we can run some unders.
We'll definitely have a Super Bowl prediction for you guys at some point later on.
Maybe after the regular season concludes, we can see what teams are in the playoffs and give our pick for who's going to win it all this year.
Well, everybody, I think we know that it is about to be Christmas time, the holiday season. So whether you celebrate Christmas or not, everybody here at Curated Heat, me, Frank, all the staff, everybody, Curated Heat as a whole, we just want to say Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy holidays. We hope everyone is safe. And we'll see you next week.
See you guys. Merry Christmas to you guys.
Peace.